Leave me alone at this point. I'm minding my business. I don't do anything. I don't say anything. Leave me alone, please. Enough time has gone by where it's valid to leave me alone. I beg of you, truly. That's my only request. Leave me alone. Be miserable somewhere else, please. So I don't normally do this, but I just wanted to say that today I'm having a day where I'm feeling just a little bit overwhelmed and tired, and I'm trying to get my body moving, and I'm trying to work out and stay on a routine, and I just found it more hard today than usual.
What up, Jay? What's up, Justin? Good morning, Justin.
Justin Bieber might have just handed the internet a fresh cup of piping hot drama, and fans cannot stop talking about it. Out of nowhere, the pop star posted a series of cryptic messages that many are convinced were directed toward none other than Selena Gomez. The timing, the wording, and the subtle references were enough to send Jelena fans into a frenzy, digging through every detail to prove their theory. The problem? Justin is very much married to Hailey Bieber, and this latest move has left her looking like the unintended target of public humiliation. People are already dissecting her recent social media activity, her body language in public appearances, and any sign that she might be responding to the situation. The whole thing has revived year-old wounds from the Jelena era, the kind of wounds that never truly healed in the court of public opinion. For many fans, this feels like history repeating itself. They remember the ups and downs of Justin and Selena's relationship, the way it spilled into the public eye, and how every cryptic lyric or Instagram post would spark an avalanche of speculation. Now, with Justin seemingly stirring those old flames, Hailey finds herself at the center of an internet storm she never asked for but cannot escape from. Whether this was intentional shade, an emotional slip, or just a misunderstood moment, one thing is clear. Justin's messages have reignited one of the most talked about celebrity love triangles of the last decade, and the fallout is just beginning. So here is where things go from mildly shady to full-blown soap opera. Justin did not just make a vague post or share a harmless lyric. He went full storyteller mode, and every move felt like it was laced with hidden meaning. The more you look at it, the harder it is to believe it is all just coincidence. And of course, the internet's unofficial detective squad was on the case within minutes. It kicked off with a song dripping in regret and longing, the kind of track that feels like it was written with a lump in the throat and 1,000 old memories playing in the background. The lyrics spoke about a love that was both unforgettable and impossible, a theme that instantly made fans think of his roller coaster history with Selena Gomez. People started digging through the archives, comparing the song's words to moments from their past relationship, and honestly, the parallels were hard to unsee. But just when you thought that might be the end of it, Justin posted a set of photos with Hailey. Now normally this would be nothing unusual, except he paired the images with a line that felt like a punch straight to the gut. "I cannot love you because I do not like the man I am." That is not exactly the caption you expect from a husband posting about his wife. The internet practically exploded, with theories that this was not about Hailey at all, but was actually a confession about how he felt during his relationship with someone else, or maybe even how he still feels now. Then came Never Get Lonesome, a song steeped in themes of solitude, distance, and longing for someone far away. It is almost like Justin was building an emotional playlist for the world to decode. Fans instantly connected the dots back to Selena, saying the song could easily be the soundtrack to their unfinished story. And then the outfit happened. Justin stepped out in a hoodie and beanie covered in tiny cartoon cats. Cute, right? Well, maybe not so innocent when you realize it came just 2 days after Selena posted a photo with a cat curled up in her lap. It was subtle enough to be brushed off as coincidence, but obvious enough for diehard fans to scream, "He is sending a sign," on social media. But Justin did not stop there. In what might be the most eyebrow-raising move yet, he captioned another post with Ayo Benny right as the Ayo Benny trend was exploding online. For anyone who missed it, this trend is all about people claiming they treat Selena better than her current boyfriend, Benny Blanco. The fact that Justin dropped that caption at that exact time was like tossing gasoline on an already raging fire. And to make matters even spicier, the post was linked to a song about valuing a woman the way her ex never did. Fans could not decide if this was an epic act of shade toward Benny or just Justin's subconscious spilling out in public. And if all that was not enough, people started noticing eerie similarities between two songs, Call Me When You Break Up and Way It Is. One sounds like someone yearning to come back, while the other feels like someone patiently waiting. Together, they read like two sides of the same conversation, and it has fans wondering if Justin is trying to tell a story in real time through music. The result? A storm of speculation, conspiracy boards on Twitter, TikTok videos dissecting every lyric, and thousands of fans convinced Justin is either deeply conflicted about his past or not nearly as over it as he wants people to think. For someone who has publicly declared he has moved on, his posts are telling a very different, very emotional, and very public story. One that has Hailey right in the middle of a storm she probably wishes would end. And just when you think Justin might finally slow down on the cryptic content, he throws another curveball at the internet. Out of absolutely nowhere, he drops an Instagram post that feels like a page ripped straight out of his emotional diary. No caption, no emojis, no explanation. Just a snippet of a song playing over a series of moody, aesthetic photos that look like they could double as early promo shots for a new album. The moment it hit his feed, fans went into overdrive. Sure, some were focused on whether this was him teasing new music, but most people could not get past the choice of song Wish I Had Not Said That by J.J. Cale. Not exactly the kind of neutral, upbeat track you would casually post on a Tuesday afternoon. This is an old-school ballad loaded with themes of regret, longing, and bittersweet love. And Justin, being Justin, did not pick a random snippet. No, he went straight for the most gut-punching part of the lyrics. If I could only close you out of my mind. It don't matter what you're into. If I could taste you once again, feel the pain and the pleasure, we could make it to the end. Wish I had not said that, baby. Those words are not light. They sound like the confession of someone replaying old mistakes in their head, haunted by what could have been if they had handled things differently. And because Justin gave absolutely no context, fans were left to fill in the blanks themselves. You can imagine how that went. Within minutes, social media lit up with speculation. Was this aimed at someone specific? Was it an apology without saying I'm sorry? Was it a sign that he still has unfinished business with a love from his past? It did not take long before Selena Gomez's name started trending alongside his, because for many fans, these lyrics read like a direct line to the highs and lows of their relationship. The lack of explanation was the real kicker. Justin did not clarify whether this was about his own personal feelings, a creative inspiration for his next project, or just a random track he happened to be listening to. And when you are a celebrity with a history as tangled and public as his, silence speaks volumes. By not saying anything, he let the internet run wild, and they happily obliged. TikTok was flooded within hours. People were splicing the song over old footage of him and Selena, matching the lyrics to moments from their history. Others were breaking down every word, pointing out how feel the pain and the pleasure mirrors the way Justin used to describe their on and off romance in past interviews. On Twitter, fan threads were popping up comparing these lyrics to his own songs from the Purpose era, as well as Selena's more emotional tracks from Revival and Rare. And of course, there was the theory that this post had nothing to do with the past at all, that maybe Justin is in a rough patch in his current marriage and is using music as a subtle outlet. Some even suggested that this was his way of testing public reaction before deciding whether to officially release new material with similar themes. Whatever the truth is, it is clear that Justin knew exactly what he was doing. You do not post a song this loaded, strip away all context, and then walk away unless you are prepared for the internet to dissect it from every angle. And once again, he has managed to turn a single post into a full-blown conversation about his love life, his emotional state, and whether he is truly over the chapter of his life that fans cannot seem to let go of. Because let's be honest, when you post lyrics like, wish I had not said that, baby, and then disappear without a word, you are not just sharing music, you are starting a story. And right now, the world is trying to figure out exactly how it ends. And just when you you think you have Justin's cryptic posting spree figured out, he switches the tone completely, and in the most confusing way possible. This time, the mystery came packaged with what looked like a screenshot from a video call with Hailey, his wife. The picture seemed casual enough, but it was the soundtrack that threw everyone for a loop. Instead of a romantic ballad or an uplifting love song, Justin paired the moment with a track titled, "I Don't Like the Man That I Am." Yeah, you can imagine how that went over. The snippet he chose was intense. "Oh, I can't love you. I really don't think that I can. Oh, I can't love you because I don't like the man I am. Ah, there's a fool inside my head. He's making me see red. I don't want to get ahead. Oh, I don't want to be led. Oh, I can't love you. I really don't think that I can." Those are not the kind of lyrics you expect someone to post alongside a smiling call with their spouse. Fans were stunned, some calling it a bizarre and tone-deaf choice, others convinced it was a coded message about the state of his relationship. Was this a random song he stumbled upon, or a brutally honest confession slipped into his feed under the guise of music appreciation? Either way, the conversation online was relentless. But Justin did not stop there. As if determined to keep everyone guessing, he followed that heavy, almost confrontational post with something softer, but no less loaded. This time, he uploaded a photo of himself blowing a kiss, paired with another song snippet. The mood here was more tender, almost hopeful, yet still laced with a deeper meaning that fans could not ignore. In heaven, nothing will matter anymore. Not in a bad way like before, because we'll be sure that we're in heaven, where the time moves so fast, but the things we like always last, because that's how it is in heaven. And those years spent in uncertainty and fear were all a joke. We'll just look back and laugh about it. On the surface, it sounded sweet, almost like a dream of escaping to a place where nothing hurts anymore. But depending on how you read it, it could also feel like someone yearning for relief from the weight of their reality. Fans debated whether this was Justin hinting at wanting peace, expressing a desire to run away from it all, or simply reassuring himself that the chaos will one day be behind him. And of course, when you stack these two posts side by side, one talking about being unable to love because of inner turmoil, the other fantasizing about a carefree place where pain is a memory, it starts to feel less like random music picks and more like pieces of an emotional puzzle. A puzzle that, right now, only Justin knows how to solve. Now, here's where the Benny Blanco angle really gets interesting, and where fans say Justin might have crossed from innocent coincidence into purposeful shade. A few weeks back, a TikTok trend went absolutely viral, and it wasn't just any trend. It was built around a cheeky little parody song made by two TikTokers who were very openly teasing Justin Bieber. The whole premise? Suggesting that Justin still wants Selena Gomez and, even more, that he'd treat her way better than her current boyfriend, Benny Blanco. The lyrics went straight for the jugular. Hey, believe me, if I was with Selena, I would still be treating her better than you. Better than you. Saw you on a TikTok, saw you on a we seeing all your videos kind of hurts me down low. Kind of hurts me. It was catchy, a little petty, and completely inescapable on TikTok for a while. And when something reaches that level of virality, you better believe it lands on Justin's feed. After all, this is a guy who's always been plugged into pop culture moments, especially ones that involve his name. So then, out of nowhere, Justin posts on Instagram with a photo of his friend Eddie Benjamin and the caption, Ayo Eddie, but not in a normal way. He drags the vowels out like, Ayo Eddie! Instantly reminding fans of the exaggerated Ayo Benny chant from that viral TikTok trend. It didn't take long for people to start connecting the dots. Was this just Justin being playful with his friend's name? Or was he deliberately echoing the meme in a way that subtly replaced Benny's name with Eddie's? Because if it was intentional, that's not just playful. That's calculated. That's taking a viral trend that calls out Benny for supposedly not treating Selena right, and putting yourself in the position of the better man, even if it's all wrapped in a joke. And here's where it gets even juicier. That Ayo Eddie post wasn't just about the caption or the photo. Justin also attached a song to it, and once you listen to the lyrics, it's hard not to get suspicious. The track is all about wanting to know someone inside and out, to understand what makes her smile, what makes her cry, and how to be the one who's always there for her. The lyrics go, I want to know what turns you on so I can be all that and more. I'd like to know what makes you cry so I can be the one who always makes you smile. Girl, he never understood what you were worth, and he never took the time to make it work. No, you deserve more loving, girl. Baby, I'm the kind of man who shows concern. Yes, I do. Anyway, that I can please you. Let me learn. Sound innocent? Not when you remember that the TikTok trend was literally mocking Benny for not treating Selena the way she deserved. And Justin posting this song immediately after parodying that trend feels like more than just a coincidence. To make things even more eyebrow-raising, the second verse of the same song is arguably even more revealing. I wish that I could take a journey through your mind and find emotions that you always try to hide. Babe, I do believe that there's a love you want to share. I'll take good care of you, lady. Have no fear. When you put it all together, the timing, the reference to a viral trend about Benny, the lyrics about stepping in where another man failed, and Justin's history with Selena, it's no wonder fans are buzzing. For them, this isn't just an inside joke with Eddie. This is Justin sending a pointed message wrapped in music and meme culture that just so happens to land right in the middle of his ex's current relationship. And the big question everyone's asking, if it really was shade, was Justin trying to be subtle, or did he want people to notice exactly what he was doing? Because if it's the latter, then Benny Blanco just got called out in one of the most low-key yet high-impact ways possible. And if you thought the Ayo Eddie post was just harmless fun, here's where things start to get messy. Because Eddie Benjamin isn't just some random friend. He's one of Justin Bieber's closest confidants. In fact, their bond runs so deep that it's reportedly been a point of jealousy for Hailey Bieber for years. Remember Coachella? Multiple sources claim Justin could barely keep his hands off Eddie, and that tension didn't exactly go unnoticed. More recently, Eddie has played a huge role in Justin's career, even helping put together his entire album. But here's what has everyone talking. Who exactly is Eddie Benjamin? And why does his backstory feel like it's straight out of a Hollywood fever dream? He's not a household name like Benny Blanco, but he's been orbiting A-list circles for years. Eddie's Australian, born into a creative family, his mother a dancer, his father a touring drummer, and by 14, he was already playing live at clubs in Sydney. He even formed a school band called the Hayes Trio before eventually moving into the professional music scene, working behind the curtain with big names like Meghan Trainor, Earth, Wind and Fire, and Shawn Mendes. Then, in 2022, everything changed. Eddie met Justin and joined him as an opening act on the Justice Tour, and from that point on, their friendship became almost inseparable. And this is where the story takes an even stranger turn, because Eddie's personal life is deeply entwined with singer Sia and former child star Maddie Ziegler. See, before Eddie became Justin's right-hand man, he was dating Maddie. Through her, he met Sia, who took such a liking to him that she started calling him her Australian son. She even admitted to stepping into a protective, almost maternal role in his life, despite being more than twice his age. Eddie himself has said Sia's family took him in when he first moved to LA, and Sia openly bragged about vetting his contracts and shielding him from the darker sides of the music industry. On paper, it sounds sweet, but online, people have been raising eyebrows for years, questioning why Sia seems to repeatedly house much younger artists, especially those connected to Maddie. One Reddit user summed it up bluntly. Maddie introduces Sia to her boyfriend. Sia then moves Maddie's boyfriend into her house. Soon, he's calling her a mother figure while still dating Maddie. The optics are unusual, to say the least. And now with Eddie at the center of both Justin's music and his personal life, and Justin publicly playing into the Ayo Eddie trend that low-key mocks Selena's current boyfriend, you have to wonder, is this just a quirky friendship, or is there something much more complicated going on behind the scenes? Some fans online have been pointing out that what's going on here has crossed into completely uncharted territory, calling it flat-out unhinged behavior. One commenter summed it up bluntly, saying, "She's such a creep, and I'm over it." The problem, they argue, is that she hides behind this image of being protective, using it as a convenient excuse to act in ways that feel overly invasive and unsettling, especially toward children and young teens. The concern has now started extending to the 3 teenage boys she adopted last year, who were reportedly just aging out of foster care. These boys, barely legal adults, are living full-time on her property without being related to her by blood. For some, this setup immediately set off alarms, drawing comparisons to infamous cases like Arch Kelly, and sparking the question, why is no one in the mainstream calling this out? If you follow the public narrative around Sia, she's still widely perceived as this benevolent, almost saint-like figure, the kind of celebrity who swoops in, rescues kids from rough backgrounds, and launches them into a better life. It's a wholesome story that people want to believe, but under that glossy public image, critics say there's a pattern of behavior that, if you really connect the dots, looks deeply troubling. People are asking who these kids have in their corner beyond her. Who's the steady, grounded adult making sure boundaries are respected? And beyond that, what happens when the dynamics shift? For example, if Maddie and Eddie broke up, would Eddie have to leave her house? Would his connection to Sia continue? That question becomes even more interesting when you look at how the timeline played out. Once Maddie and Eddie's relationship fizzled, Justin Bieber seemed to step right into the picture. The two reportedly met in 2022 when Eddie opened for Justin on tour, and from there, things snowballed. They began posting about each other on social media, and Justin openly referred to Eddie as the next generation of music. Fast forward to this year, and Justin drops his album Swag, with Eddie credited as a co-writer on 11 out of 21 tracks. The album's rollout was a little chaotic, even by Bieber standards. Sources say Justin, Eddie, and their team turned it in extremely late, catching both fans and streaming platforms off guard. The release was so last minute that Spotify and Apple Music didn't have time to post the full, accurate credits, leading to confusion about who had actually worked on what. Some of Eddie's contributions reportedly didn't even appear right away, but online, both of them were all love. Eddie posted a heartfelt note about making the album with his bestie, calling it the most rewarding music project of his career, and saying he was grateful not only for the creative process, but for Justin as a friend. Of course, not everyone bought the bestie narrative at face value. Some online voices claimed Eddie did the heavy lifting and Justin's name was there for brand power, essentially making Eddie his ghostwriter. That said, Eddie has never shied away from expressing how much he admires Justin. In an interview with Zach Sang, Eddie described Justin in glowing terms, calling him exceptionally gifted and raving about his incredible ears for music. He spoke about Justin in a way that almost sounded reverent, like he wasn't just talking about a collaborator, but about someone he saw as uniquely rare and special.